The Bulls get the emphatic win over Cardiff at Loftus Versfeld, 40 points to 7. A dominant showing by the Bulls. Honestly, at the start of the game, the way Cardiff started, I was a bit worried. Maybe I was thinking the Bulls are going to go back to some of their old habits. Two losses in a row would not be good for them, but they really stepped the foot on the gas after that. Some really good individual performances as well. We're going to talk about some of those because there's some guys that I honestly believe are playing for the Bulls right now that could honestly be doing really good things at international level. But before we get into that, we'll go over some of the stats from the game. So obviously Cardiff scored first, and then after that it was the Bulls the whole way through, scoring every other point in the game. A very entertaining first half, a much closer second half. Probably not the best second half from the Bulls, but some really good tries scored, some really good individual performances as well. The Bulls led the game for 69 minutes. Cardiff led the game for 7 minutes. Bulls led 86% of the game and only had 30% possession in the last 10 minutes of the game. So just some other stats from the game. The Bulls ended up with 6 tries, 5 conversions, 132 carries to Cardiff's 90 carries, 9 clean line breaks compared to Cardiff's 6. 16 turnovers lost, which is a bit of a worrying stat there. Cardiff only losing 14, which is still a bit of a higher stat right there. Turnovers 1, 8 for the Bulls, 6 for Cardiff. Possession 54% to the Bulls. Territory 53% as well. So honestly, the territory and possession game wasn't really dominated by one side. I just think the Bulls capitalized on the opportunities a lot more. Really, every time they got an opportunity, they capitalized, they made it count. That's really what is the kind of the difference maker at this level. So after this game, Cardiff stays at 5th on the log with 40 points. Bulls moving up to 7th with 35 points. But there's still a whole weekend left to play. Connacht still have to play Ulster. Lions still have to play Edinburgh. There's a lot of rugby still to be played. And to be honest, the top 8 is getting quite spicy right now. Honestly, I'd say the top 13 or 14 is getting quite spicy now because there's still Connacht, Ospreys, Sharks, Edinburgh and Benetton on the outskirts looking for a way in. And to be honest, I think the teams like Connacht and Sharks and Edinburgh, if they do play the rugby that we know they can play, honestly have a good opportunity to get back into the top 8. So a very interesting end to the season. It's going to be a very, very interesting end to the season. But overall, looking at some of the team stats, the Bulls scoring an average of 2.8 points per 22-meter entry with 14 22-meter entries, and Cardiff on the other hand with 0.7 average points scored per 22-meter entry with 9 entries. I mean, with 9 entries, getting an average of 0.7 points per entry, you're not really going to get much success in a game. That's one of the key stats we saw from the Six Nations. Yes, it probably is a bit of an obvious one, but you have to convert once you're in the 22. I mean, even if it's a few penalties, just racking up points on the scoreboard, you have to convert there. So Bulls 2.8 average points, Cardiff 0.7. The attacking profile, the one really big area, as you can see from this attack profile thing, it kind of shows where a team might be really dominating another team. So with regards to the attack profile, the 22-meter conversion is where the Bulls really got the better of Cardiff. Overall, they were better in the carries, better with kicks. Kicks was quite close, but better with post-contact meters, better with 22-meter entries, better with line breaks, but really much more dominant with the 22-meter conversions. Just looking at the defense as well, Cardiff allowed more offloads than the Bulls. They made more tackles than the Bulls. They missed more tackles than the Bulls. The Bulls had more tackle turnovers, won more turnovers in the game, and had much more dominant tackles in the game. So a bit of a worrying stat there. 5 dominant tackles for the Bulls compared to Cardiff's 1. Cardiff had to make 162 tackles, which just shows how much dominance and how much possession the Bulls really had throughout the game, and how much they made it count with the possession they did have. Ruck speed, Rucks 1, 86 Rucks 1 to the Bulls, 64 Rucks 1 to Cardiff. Average ruck speed, Bulls 5 seconds, Cardiff 5.4. Not really that fast, but overall, if you're taking into account the box kick, setting up for those exits, as an average, it's actually quite quick. Set plays, Bulls won 100% of their scrums, having 7 scrums and 100% of their lineouts, and won 6 of their restarts. Cardiff, on the other hand, 86% scrums won, 88% lineouts on, which is not a bad statistic if you take into account when these teams normally do play away from home, like especially a far travel game like this where there's no support, you're not playing at home, you're not really comfortable with the surroundings. A lot of the time the set piece percentage drops to even below 70 at times, below 75. But for Cardiff to have an 86% scrum win rate and an 88% lineout win rate is not a bad statistic. In fact, it could even be a positive from this game for them to take, even though there isn't really that many positives. So ball carries, 132 ball carries for the Bulls, 90 ball carries for Cardiff. Post-contact meters, 462 post-contact meters for the Bulls. That is a lot, and only 245 post-contact meters for Cardiff. I mean, That's quite scary, that stat. They're nearly double the post-contact meters of Cardiff, which just shows once you're playing away from home in these tournaments, you really just have to step it up, keep it close, and try leave the game with a few points, even if it is 1 point. So Cardiff not leaving the game with a point is going to be a very disappointing result for them. They're going to have to take this forward and try learn from it, try bounce back in the weeks to come. Just looking at some of the other statistics here. Penalties conceded, 10 penalties for the Bulls, 13 penalties conceded for Cardiff, and 1 yellow card conceded for them. Total kicks, Bulls with 31, Cardiff with 27. The kick to pass ratio, one kick for every 4.8 passes for the Bulls and one kick for every 5.6 passes for Cardiff. So maybe Cardiff at the end of the game are really trying to throw the ball around a bit. And just some of the key individual performances from this game. Andre Pollard with 8 points, Kanan Moody with 2 line breaks, Harry Millard with 2 turnovers, 1. Ruan Vermaak was the last try scorer of the game. Nizam Kar with a hefty 13 carries, which isn't actually that much if you're taking into consideration some of the carry stats we saw from the Six Nations, which was like 19, 22, 25. But this game was a bit different. Every single player was getting their hands on the ball, which was really good to see. Defenders beaten, 5 defenders beaten by Curtly Oren, so he was absolutely phenomenal today. Dan Thomas, 18 tackles completed. He stood out to me from a Cardiff perspective. And successful passes, 58 successful passes by Embrace Papi. So overall, some really big individual performances, especially from the Bulls side. Meters carried, Kanan Moody 123 meters carried, Curtly Orenser 105 meters carried, Nizam Kar was 73, Harry Millard, the first place for Cardiff for meters carried, was 72, Embrace Papi with 47, David Creel was 68. So you can just see, even with the individual performances, the Bulls just dominated this game. I think Cardiff from this game, they'll learn quite a few things going forward, but overall it's going to be a disappointing result for them. But just some of the individual performances, the individual performers that really stood out to me from this game. If I think from a Bulls perspective, since they were the winning team, I have to say Ruan Orkia was really solid in the broken play. He was really solid in the tight play as well. He's one of those guys. He's just becoming such a world-class lock, and he's good off the ball. He's good on the ball. He's becoming a better ball carrier. His hands are getting better as well. He's a guy that's really been impressing me. Marcel Coetzee leading from the front, scoring another try. Just one of those guys that's always going to be playing with so much pride for the Bulls. And I think Marcel Coetzee is one of those really important guys that, to be honest, if the Springboks had so many injuries in their team right now in the loose forwards, Marcel Coetzee is probably the perfect guy to bring in, add some experience and some leadership as well. I am saying this as a bit of a worst case scenario thing, but I do really like Marcel Coetzee for the Bulls, and I'm not even a Bulls fan. I'm honestly a neutral for this game. Embrose Papir, another player that I just think absolutely deserves a Springbok call-up. I don't know if he's going to get one. Hopefully he does, but this guy is so fast. He's so explosive. He's so dangerous. His box kicks are accurate. His exit kicks are good. He's controlling the game well. His passes is good. His service is crisp. I mean, Embrose Papir is the one guy when I look at this Bulls team, the one guy when I look at South African rugby that can just stand out and make such a big difference. Can you imagine the 1-2 punch over Grant Williams and Embrose Papir on the field? Grant Williams maybe starting, or Embrose Papir with the other one coming off the bench. Can you imagine how dangerous that would be? Two really world-class players, two of the fastest players in world rugby right now, probably two of the faster scrum halves in world rugby right now. They could be such a potent combination, a potent 1-2 punch, and probably both, if you have a lot of injuries in the team, can play on the wing as well. So hopefully the Rassie Erasmus is having a look at Embrose Papir, because he has been absolutely phenomenal. Same goes for Curtly Orenser. Yes, when he came back from Japan, he maybe seemed a little bit out of it, but this game, it just shows how much quality this guy possesses. He is such a good player. Every time he touches the ball, it just looks like he's carving up the defenses so smoothly. He just makes it look so easy. So Curtly Orenser has always been one of my favorite Springbok players, and he's just showing why. I mean, he's such a good player. And I will say with this Bulls backline, I do like Harold Foster normally, but the way this backline worked today with the likes of Papir and Andre Pollard really building a good combination, which is another reason they could maybe work at Springbok level as well. But Stedman Ghazi number 12 was phenomenal today. I mean, him just keeping the defense on their heels the whole time. He's a really good attacker. You can see he's got that Blitzbok DNA of working hard off the ball, really good at the breakdown. He can get a few steals. He's a very good playmaker as well, and he was very physical today as well. So I really enjoyed the center combination of Stedman Ghazi and of course Kanan Moody at number 13. This guy's just growing into that number 13 jersey every single week. it's going to be interesting because if I had to choose in the future between Ethan Hooker and Kane Moody for centre, I'd probably go with Ethan Hooker at number 13 and then Kane Moody on the wing. But overall, they both look phenomenal. Maybe we could see them in a 12-13 combination, even though I think they both probably suit the 13 jersey a bit more right now. But I mean, Kane Moody's looking phenomenal. Whether he plays on the wing, whether they put him at fullback, whether he plays 13, he's looking absolutely awesome. He's physical, he's a dominant ball carrier, and he's just looking so comfortable. Same goes for Cheswell Uester. Yes, he didn't score any fantastic tries today, but it's the little things he adds to the game which are so good, like the way he cleans at the breakdown, the way he goes for the steals, the way he works off the ball, the way if there's a line break, he's going to be catching those guys. To be honest, I probably rate Cheswell Uester probably as the fastest guy in this Bulls team right now, which is scary considering they have Curtly Orense, Kane Moody, Stedman Gant, and Emrys Papid. So Cheswell Uester is one of those guys, still 19 years old. He's still got an entire under-20 World Cup ahead of him. He is going to cause so much havoc this year, and I do like what he's doing on the field. Like, he's not just standing out with these amazing tries, scoring tries from 50 meters out. It's just work rate, which is really good. The way he can physically dominate bigger players in front of him. He can get over the advantage line. He's very good with the counter ruck. He's such an intelligent player. He has such a high IQ, which is why, honestly, right now, even as a neutral, I really enjoy watching this Bulls team play because they just play such a different brand of rugby to what we used to from the normal old Bulls days. Yes, there was a period where in Bulls in their prime would just chuck the ball around everywhere. I mean, Pierre Spies, Brian Abana, Frida Prier, those guys. But in between that, they had a bit of a identity crisis where they were just maybe trying to play too much of a physical bashing game, but now they really have kind of molded themselves into a hybrid team where they've got forwards that are extremely skillful, extremely physical, but also have a very high IQ. So Kubis Visa is getting much better with the running with the ball. Ruan Norkia's hands are getting a lot better. His decision making is getting a lot better. Johan Grobla as well. Jan-Hendrik Wessels. All these guys are getting so much better with ball in hand. Then you have the likes of Elrich Lowe and Nizam Carr, Cameron Honeycomb and Jean-De Rudolph, who are very skilled and also physical players. So this Bulls team right now is definitely trending in the right direction, and it's going in a very exciting direction. I think the style they're playing now, they probably can go deep in the tournament. Yes, they've been going deep in the tournament for years now without winning it. Could this year be different? I honestly think the Bulls can go very far, and if they make the final, probably could win it if they really pitch up on the day. I think they've got a very strong squad. They've got some really good players. They've brought in a guy like Andre Pollard who's very composed. And I just think right now, going forward for the Bulls throughout the tournament for the last few games, it's just about finding those best combinations. Like, is Stedman Gant and Kane Moody going to be your centre combination if they play in a semi-final? Or is it going to be David Creel with a Harold Foster? Or is it going to be Harold Foster with a Kane Moody? I think these are the things they have to discuss going forward and see what they can get right. Because I did enjoy David Creel at fullback. And I do enjoy Valérie Leroux coming off the bench and adding a bit of experience. So overall, the Bulls are on the up. Very disappointing day for Cardiff. There was a few standout players for them, but it was never going to be easy going to Loftus and trying to win. But they'll try bounce back next week along South African tour. It might be tough for them. Hopefully they can stay in the top 8 because they've been very impressive. But if they were to keep their form up like this, I do see them maybe dropping out the top 8. But I mean, the Welsh teams, so they're going to get a nice boost with some of the Six Nations players coming back as well. So that's going to be very interesting to see. It's going to be very fun to watch. Some other games happening this weekend. We're going to be doing a match reaction for most of the games. Some really big ones: Ulster vs Connacht, Sharks vs Munster, Glasgow vs Leinster, Lions vs Edinburgh. It's going to be absolutely awesome, guys. So stay tuned for that. And if you do enjoy the content, please don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next one. Cheers.